Go worst first and then best second. Okay.
So we're gonna start with the worst. All right. Do you want to kick it off, or do you want me to?
Who did it last time?
I think I kicked it off last time,
Okay, so I'll do it this
so
time.
you can kick it off this time.
All
Yeah.
right, so for number 10, the best and worst, we got the Bushwhackers versus the Beverly Brothers. And that was in 92. I was
1992.
I was sitting here watching this, doing my research, and immediately the moment I saw this, I'm seeing the Bushwhackers come out, they're doing their thing. The Beverly Brothers were just kind of there. There's
Oh.
really not enough words to kind of go into this, because, I'm just thinking this entire match, what am I watching here? Because, I'm seeing the Bushwhackers not doing jack squat for me. The Beverly Brothers also not doing jack squat. They're literally just kind of fumbling around in the match. They stalled a lot at some points. I was not a fan of it, and after a little while, I just, I didn't even finish the match. I was not interested.
That bad, huh?
Yeah.
It's
All
funny
right.
because that match is on my list too, but where? Yeah, so agreed, bro. Agreed.
That's mysterious. Okay, number 10
I
on for
mean,
you,
it's safe
man.
to say
Oh,
any
sorry,
match
go
with
ahead.
the Bushwhackers was bad back in the day. So,
Yeah.
all right. So my number 10 would be from Royal Rumble 1999, and I was actually at that Royal Rumble. It was in Anaheim, but it would be
Really?
Sable versus Luna Vachon for the women's championship.
Mm,
Um, it was a strap match, and Sable is probably one of
that
the
sounds
worst
dirty.
women's champions ever. And it was during the Attitude Era, and I think it was meant to be dirty, to be honest with you. But it was a complete waste of talent for Luna Vachon, and it,
Yeah.
it was just bad. It was just really bad. So yeah, I would say that was my number 10, Sable versus Luna for the women's championship.
Okay. All right, number 9. Big Boss Man versus Bam Bam Bigelow.
what
This one,
was that, 90?
I
Oh,
think that's 94. Uh, I didn't write down the
yeah, I was
year
gonna say
next to it.
93 or 94. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I was watching this, bored out my mind, and that's really all I got to say about it. I was bored out my mind this entire match. I'm sure if I was living in this era, I probably would have been more invested, but nah, no, I wasn't. All right.
No, you wouldn't have been from someone who lived during that era.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. Go ahead, man.
All right, my number 9 is the 2017 Royal Rumble.
Oh boy.
Um, it was just lackluster compared to most Rumbles I've seen, and I've seen them all. And it was just one of the ones that was just kind of boring, the whole entire card to me.
Right.
There's just nothing special about it. Especially the Royal Rumble match itself, like there were no Royal Rumble moments or anything. So nothing really stood out the entire card for me. So yeah, that's number 9 on my list.
Yeah. Okay. So number 8 for me, and this one I can actually give a fucking review on. Big Show versus Brock Lesnar in 2014.
That's
This
best? Oh,
worst. So
okay.
so this was bad because first off, Brock pretty much looked weak. It's funny, and I was saying this to Jordan way back in the day. It's funny how Brock Lesnar has become a lot more is like this much stronger being than he was in 2003, and now a decade later, he's pretty much scared shitless of and has is pretty much being a coward to every single opponent he pretty much manhandled in the past year, and he's much stronger than this. So it's like that makes no sense to me. Like why you would think he would be, a lot more ready to attack and destroy. Here he is just kind of just being scared of the Big Show. So the build up was pretty bad. I really did not like the build up, especially because Brock being scared of the Big Show, who he has pretty much
Right.
beaten countless times. It was so stupid to me. Um, I didn't like that he had to attack Big Show before the match. Now, granted, that's what heels do, but it's Brock fucking Lesnar. Um, So it was like they were at this point they were really squandering the guy. They really just made him look weak, having him just you know look weak, and they were really doing a lot of weird things with him. Like you've seen Family Guy, right?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so you remember the Peter Griffin and the chicken?
Yeah, yeah.
I will compare
Yes.
that to Brock Lesnar and Mark Henry. Because for a little while, like every time Brock Lesnar would appear, Mark Henry would appear too, and they would have a confrontation, and Brock Lesnar would always come out the winner. And to me, I think about that, it's like Peter Griffin and the chicken. That's like living proof that they didn't know what to do with somebody. They just had him attacking
Awesome
Mark Henry.
comparison.
Yeah, they had him just going out and having this random ass brawl with Mark Henry weeks on end until Big Show finally came out, and even then they still didn't know what to do with Brock. They made him look completely weak. So there was that.
Right.
For the first time in a while, I had seen him, delivering some punches, like, doing these UFC style punches. Like, it was kind of the first time I had seen those because he's always throwing elbows or knees. Um, I thought that was the only like moment that actually made him look good. After that, Brock Lesnar took a KO punch and almost lost to the Big Show. He had to give him two F5s to lose. To beat the Big Show. So again, Brock looked really weak in that match, and it was just a really bad match. It was like a minute, and I'm going on a lot, but it was a bad match. I can't
Okay.
stress it enough. All right,
All
Num-
right.
what number 8 for you?
So number 8 for me would be Ahmed Johnson versus Farouk at the 1997 Royal Rumble. Um, it was a bad match, and it's sad because Ahmed Johnson came in like 1995, and he came in strong. And then I believe he was the second person to body slam Yokozuna back then, so he was getting a big push. But Ahmed Johnson's problem was like he got injured just way too easily.
Uh-huh.
So by the time 1997 rolled around, no one really gave a crap about him, but they were trying to, kind of
Salvage him.
reinvent Ahmed, and Farouk was a big rival of his because Farouk debuted attacking Ahmed Johnson. But it was just a bad match, man. It was just terrible. And, you finally get to see these two go one-on-one without Ahmed being injured, and then they just gave us crap. So, yeah,
I can
number
imagine.
8 on my list is Ahmed versus Farouk.
Okay. All right, number 7 for me, the Royal Rumble 2012.
Oh, the 2012 Rumble, all right.
Yeah. I was disappointed with this initially because of, some expectations. I was expecting Matt Hardy to be there to make his grand return. I was pretty much let down by that. This was actually, fun fact, this was actually the start of my predictions that Carlito will return to the Royal Rumble, and I've been predicting that every single year since 2012. And I will keep predicting it until it actually happens. I want it to actually
I
happen.
would love to see Carlito back.
Yeah. But have him return at the Royal Rumble. Why? No
Yeah, I
particular
would
reason.
love to see that.
No particular reason other than the fact that I just want to see it. I just want to see it. Like, literally. Like, if you want him back, return him at the Royal Rumble. If you have him return like a week before
Well,
the
you
Rumble,
know-
I'm going to be pissed. But, just jokes aside, yeah, I'm going to keep saying that till who knows when. Anyway, the match itself wasn't all too good. Jericho did a good job. Cody Rhodes did a good job. Kofi Kingston, that was the start of his highlights, where he was doing the handstand.
Yes.
And got back in the match. That was really, really cool. Yeah, there's just it's just, yeah, it was just like a highlight reel for Kofi Kingston, who had been doing highlights like every single year now.
Yeah, I think he showed out at WrestleMania that year too with that really cool stuff in the Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
That
used
was a
the
big year for
ladders as
Kofi.
stilts.
Yep.
Anyway, the match itself, there was a few surprises here and there. Not really who I was expecting. Sheamus coming out the winner was not a helpful thing for me. I was not a fan of Sheamus at that point, and this was kind of the starter to it. Yeah, overall I wasn't a fan of the Royal Rumble. Not in 2012.
Okay.
Number 7 for you?
I suppose that's fair enough. Number 7 for me. Let me see. That's 1998. That goes to Vader versus the artist formerly known as Goldust. It was just a bad match. Yeah. I wasn't really into the artist formerly known as Goldust gimmick. It was just weird. I mean, weirder than the Goldust gimmick, which I actually liked because it was weird. But, I mean, and Vader, he was well past his prime at this point, so, the match was just unnecessary and didn't need to happen.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I can't really argue that, so, yeah. All right, let's get to number 6.
And then compared to the other matches on the card, yeah, it was just trash.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get to number 6. Undertaker versus Yokozuna, the casket match.
Oh, that's on my list too, but where? Okay, I'm curious to know, why is that on your worst list?
Okay, I saw this. I was bored beyond belief. Maybe it was because I came off of that damn Big Boss Man match. But here's the thing. It was Undertaker, giving an ass whooping to Yokozuna, and that was pretty much it. And then everybody else interfered and pretty much did their damnedest to destroy the Undertaker. And honestly, I had more articulate thoughts when I first saw this match, so I apologize if I struggled to get a full thing going here. So, I just wasn't a fan. I was not a fan.
Okay.
Sorry.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Then I guess with that being said, my number 6 would be the 1999 Royal Rumble match. Here we are, 99 again. It was a good year for wrestling, but the Royal Rumble, it wasn't a good year for the Royal Rumble. The match itself, I didn't really enjoy because McMahon won that Rumble.
Oh, did he?
And back then, his feud with Stone Cold was red hot, but just the match was so lackluster because the match itself only focused on Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. And they kind of forced you to not care about anything else in the match because the sole focus was those two. So, yeah, 99 would have to be one of the worst Rumbles I've ever witnessed.
Okay. Number 5, Eddie Guerrero versus Chavo Guerrero. Now, to everybody listening, hear out what I have to say, because, again, there's fanboys out here. Oh, you don't like Eddie Guerrero! Yeah! No. I never said that. I just didn't like this match in particular. Alright? And I hate that about some people's fan bases these days. I have to preface myself so that they don't go crazy. Hold on, I'll be right back. Oh, that's just a baby. Alright, that's my baby niece. Okay. Why I didn't like this match. It was disappointing on a lot of levels because 1, it was short. 2, it was short. 3, it was short. And it really it was a good feud, literally. Chavo betrayed Eddie, and Chavo cut this great promo on his jealousy for Eddie, and you're expecting good match, am I right? How long do you think the match would go?
At least 15 minutes.
At least 15. I don't even think we got that.
Yeah, especially knowing what these guys can deliver.
Yeah, I don't even think we got that. The match itself, kind of slow. Wasn't like thrilled about it. So, yeah, I just can't. I just can't pass it. It was disappointing and slow, and yeah. Hey, don't kick. What's wrong with you, London?
No.
No?
That's
Why
sad
not?
because I almost forgot about that match.
Yeah. What's up, London? Alright.
All right, so then I guess that brings me to my number 5. It'd be
Yeah.
from the year 2003 for the World Heavyweight Championship. Would be Scott Steiner versus Triple H.
Oh, okay. See, I never saw that match.
And this is
Here.
oh yeah, don't. It really has nothing to do with Triple H. Triple H was straight fire. Scott Steiner, no, he should never have came back to the WWE. Like he never had one good match. I'm sorry. Like, and to be put in a World Heavyweight title match with Triple H and just to fail that miserably, it was just sad. And I hate to call it the worst because Triple H was in it, but yeah, that would definitely be my number 5.
Yeah.
Especially for a title match, it was just garbage.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so for number 4, I got the 2008 Royal Rumble.
All right.
Alright, so part of this match was kind of like really hard to sit through because there was like so many segments I just could not sit through. For the life of me. Oh my god, my niece. Alright. Alright, my baby niece. Ay. You might have heard her in the background too. Which actually I hope doesn't come out on air like talking over you. But like my baby niece. You just don't get out of my head, do you? Okay. 2008 Royal Rumble. There was a lot of things that was hard to sit through. What do you want? Do you want in or out?
Aw.
My niece. No, please, people, don't exaggerate it. That's not as mean as it sounded. Actually, it was pretty mean. I'm sorry. But it's like my little niece opens the door, comes in my room, only to leave and then want back in because she can't open my door. It's like,
How old is she?
She's 2. Or no, 2. I'm sorry. Oh wait, is she? Oh my god, I don't know my own niece's age. Oh my god.
What kind of uncle are you?
She's.
What kind of uncle are you?
She's 2. She's 2. I'm almost
Poor
certain
baby.
she's 2. Ay. Yeah. She's learning how
I'm
to
voting for
talk
her
now.
to keep tormenting you. You don't know your little niece's
Yeah.
age.
Okay, that's gonna haunt me for a little bit. Oh man. No, but yeah, she's like learning how to speak now and everything. It's cool because like I could actually talk to her and understand her a little bit.
There you go.
Yeah. So hopefully soon before you know it, I'll be having a full-on conversation with her.
Well, at 2 years old is when they become walking, talking terrorists. So yeah, be careful.
Oh, they're walking, talk. She's walking, talking, and just full out crazy. My little niece. She made a surprise cameo, audibly, of course, for this podcast. So yeah, there you go.
Well, she had her opinions too. So there you go.
Okay. So anyway, the 2008 Royal Rumble, there's a lot of things that was just so hard to sit through. Like there was at one point like Jimmy Snuka coming out and like literally he was like kryptonite for everybody. Undertaker gives him a headbutt and Undertaker's hurt. Like I'm just sitting here like I'm in 4th grade, right? So I'm like I'm what you call a filthy casual. Like I'm into everything. And I'm like, even I'm just thinking like, why is this so hard to watch?
Damn. Even in the 4th grade, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah. And then Cena coming out and people booing him. I'm not really understanding why again. So it's like seeing Cena kind of get booed out the building, seeing Triple H, wanting to be the winners. Like, I just didn't understand that match. And overall, it was looking back at it, it wasn't a great match either. I think a lot of like the two world title matches on that card did so much better than that 2008 Royal Rumble. Like I enjoyed Edge versus Rey Mysterio and Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton. They were good matches.
Yeah, I remember Hardy and Orton having a really good match. Yeah, and Edge, yeah, and Mysterio too. Yeah. Damn, I miss Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
And Matt Hardy.
I miss Matt a little more. That's just me.
Well, you know what's funny? I was always kind of a bigger Matt fan too, because I always felt he was underrated, and Jeff, he was just always in his shadow.
Yeah. And when people
like
tell
Jeff
me,
Hardy too.
Yeah, and when people tell me like, "Oh, I always thought Jeff was the better brother, better wrestler," that's where I kind of just agree to disagree.
The better wrestler.
He's the way better wrestler. Yeah. Cuz like Jeff, he's a high flyer, right? That's good for him.
Exactly.
But who the hell wants to wrestle on top of a ladder, on top of a steel cage? Like that's all his thing is. He's extreme. And while Matt can be extreme, but he's also, he's also good at...
he has that wrestling prowess, yeah.
Yeah, he's also good at wrestling by the book. He's the better technical wrestler, better worker overall. He could tell a better story of just, and I prefer Matt way more on the mic because, it's just Matt. He's just so much better at the mic. Whereas Jeff, he's not exactly the greatest on the mic. Sorry.
No, agreed.
Yeah.
But, after meeting them, I love them both equally, but I am with you on that. Wrestling-wise, I was a bigger Matt Hardy fan. But, he always got the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
Always.
And it's a shame.
So,
That's a damn shame.
When they put him in the Cruiserweight division, I was like, is this a slap in his face? And I enjoyed Matt Hardy as Cruiserweight champion and the whole thing, him dropping the weight to even be able to qualify for it. But I'm like, this guy should be wearing the Intercontinental title, man, not the Cruiserweight Championship.
Yeah.
Come on here. So.
Yeah.
It's what it is. Well, Matt Hardy's killing it now in whatever he's doing.
And I hope he does come back.
I
hope he does come back to WWE.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they were going to sign recently, but I guess they signed with Ring of Honor, so good for them.
Yeah, apparently their contract is only to last a month, so who knows? Never say never.
All right, well,
but I want him back.
Hoping for the Hardys' return.
I want him back only to win the WWE title. That's what I want.
He deserves it.
Yeah. If he's going to come back like the Dudleys and just lose matches left and right, I don't want to see that. I don't. I'm sorry.
I fear, Ed, if he comes back,
that's what'll happen.
That's probably going to be the case.
Yeah. So, like, unless he's getting the WWE title, I don't want him back. I would rather he makes a success out of himself in the indie scene, champion, or don't come back. That's my whole thing right now. Because I love Matt, and I would love to see him back no matter what, don't get me wrong. But I want to see him successful. That's what I want. And the only way to really show that he's successful, by getting that WWE title. Not the Universal title, the WWE title. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, not the Universal. Not the second-rate title. The Big Boys title.
Yeah, and not on the inferior brand, because Raw is inferior to SmackDown. # brand loyalty, baby! Alright.
I never thought I would hear that or see that the day where SmackDown was better than Raw. Actually, there was a point in time where I thought SmackDown was better than Raw, though. And that was back when they had the first brand split.
I've always preferred SmackDown to Raw. Always preferred it. Even when SmackDown, was in the drenches that it was in, and even though I'll admit I didn't really watch SmackDown that much, it was always my favorite brand. Even if I didn't watch it. Always my favorite brand.
So you're always brand blue, huh?
Yeah, right. Brand blue, and true as blue. That was stupid, but... Alright. Number 4, man. What's on your list?
Well, my number 4 is one that was on your list, man, and that was the Bushwhackers and the Beverly Brothers from the 92 Royal Rumble. Yes, sir. For pretty much all the reasons you stated earlier, and like, living back then, I couldn't stand the Bushwhackers, and all kids loved them. I hated them. So, and the Beverly Brothers, they just were never really that impressive. I'm like, these dudes are stupid, and they're going against the Bushwhackers, they're even dumber. So, yeah, and overall, it wasn't even a good match. It was still a bad match with bad gimmicks. So, there you go. There's my number 4.
All right. Number 3, the Royal Rumble 2017. You already said this, but yeah, I need something to add. I was not a fan of a lot of things. There weren't. Now, I know I've made it clear my position on stars returning during the new era and only to come back to put over newer guys. But here's the thing. It's the Royal Rumble, and it's tradition. It's tradition to have guys return to the Royal Rumble and, just kind of, make the crowd feel good. Because, like, you have guys coming back and, I was not a fan that they didn't really make any surprise returns. I think there was, like, one, if I'm not mistaken. And then there wasn't, like, any call-ups from... There wasn't any surprise NXT debuts, with the exception of Ty Dillinger. And I was expecting...
Dillinger, yeah.
And
but
I
it
was
wasn't
expecting...
even a call-up. It was just, him appearing.
Yeah, it was a one-off. So it was like, it was good to see him in the Royal Rumble, But it's... At the same time, he was the only debut. And no knock on Ty Dillinger, but he just wasn't enough. I wanted to see Samoa Joe debut at the Royal Rumble. I wanted to see either Samoa Joe or Nakamura, or hell, both. I don't care. Because, like, imagine that. Imagine at number 30, Nakamura coming out and doing that entrance.
Oh,
like,
so sick.
Yeah, like, imagine the response. Oh, my God. But instead we get, da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. And I was like, I was crestfallen. Not because I hate Roman, but because for Roman. I felt bad for Roman. You see the look on his face, and I'm sure he was selling to death the disappointment of that match. But you knew.
It's so true.
But even on his face, you could just read that he knew he was going to get booed out the building.
Yeah, like, why are you putting me in this situation again?
Yeah.
Oh.
And essentially, he was down to the final 2, only to be the guy to get eliminated. And it was a waste of a slot. It was a damn waste of a slot.
Agreed.
Especially because Styles wasn't even in the match. Like, why can't Styles be in the Royal Rumble match? Hell, if
So
Roman
true.
could get in it, why can't Styles?
Why couldn't Styles get in? Yep.
Yeah. So overall, I found that pretty stupid. Yeah. It was a really disappointing thing, and some guy on Twitter was like, "Well, just so you all know, you all wouldn't be bitching if Roman wasn't number 30." So, and I'm sure to some degree that's true, because there are a lot of people who strictly hate it just for Roman Reigns. But I responded to the guy and told him, being that there wasn't any surprise returns or debuts and a lot of disappointments, there was still not a still a lot of things.
I was still feel the same way.
Yeah, there's still a lot of things to hate about that Royal Rumble. It's not always about Roman. That's what I told the guy. He didn't respond to me or nothing, because he knew I was right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was,
I'd feel the same way about it. It was just lackluster.
Yeah. All right. So I've said my piece about the 2017 Royal Rumble. What's your number 3, my man?
Number 3 is one you listed already as well, and that would be The Undertaker versus Yokozuna from '94.
Ooh, okay.
Overall boring match. And here's the thing, though. I did like the ending of it, or the ending of the ending, with Taker's spirit floating up out of the casket and all that. Like,
that
as a kid,
cool.
all that was really cool to see.
That was pretty cool. I'll admit that.
And that's the only thing I liked about that match. But the match itself was just terrible. But that was really cool because I remember as a kid just being like, "Oh my God," you know, and
Yeah.
that led into this huge thing back then, like what happened to the Undertaker? Where's the Undertaker? And they
Yeah.
continued that going all the way up until the SummerSlam of that year, where we got Undertaker versus Undertaker. So, dude, like the ending of that match led to something really cool. You know, it didn't save the match, but it was a cool Royal Rumble moment.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it couldn't save it from not being on my worst list, but I have to be honest, the match itself was very bad.
Okay.
But that moment was very cool. So,
Yeah.
but it still makes, number 3 on my worst list.
Okay. Number 2, John Cena versus Randy Orton, 2014. Okay.
Oh.
Um.
Well, I kind of know where you stand with Cena and Orton matches, anyways. But yes,
With how many times we've seen this
continue.
match, you know,
Yeah, no,
these guys,
no kidding.
they have chemistry, I suppose. That's the one thing I could grant them. I can't list you one match where I was like, oh my god, they had an amazing match. Cause like,
Well, they've had so many, it's hard to pinpoint one.
yeah, there's that. And overall, like the best thing I could say about their matches was that, oh, it was decent. Or it was just really bad.
Okay.
I saw their Breaking Point match, their Iron Man match. I was watching it. I was like, And keep in mind, this was me fresh off of watching WWE all the way from 2000 to 2012 to catch up on my history. Now, granted, I wasn't all the way there, but I knew a hell of a lot more than I did to know a good match from a bad match. And I was watching this thing, and I was just, I was just like watching this with a straight face. Like, have you ever had seen a wrestling match where you're blank faced the entire match? You
Yeah.
ever had that?
Yeah.
That was this for me. Their Breaking Point, their Iron Man match. So I'm going into this, rewatching this match. I like that they did the move steals. That was kind of new, but that didn't salvage crap for this match for me. I saw this match, was not really invested, and maybe that's kind of on me. But it wasn't good. I saw it. I was like, okay, where do you go from here? Where it was it was nothing special. There was a lot of false finishes, and it was long. And I just okay, that's what she said. It was long, and I had to. It was just not a good match.
All right.
What's our number 2, my man?
My number 2 goes to the original Royal Rumble, the 1988 Royal Rumble.
Oh
I mean,
boy, I have
the Royal
nothing.
Rumble, yeah, has become a huge event, But the way it started wasn't that great. I mean, Hacksaw Jim Duggan won the first one, so what does that tell you? And even
Oh
back
boy,
in the 80s, I mean, you had star power like Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage and
right,
Andre the Giant. But
right,
I remember watching it as a kid. I'm like, oh, this is cool, but I still hated Hacksaw Jim Duggan. But
yeah,
watching it again as an adult, I'm just like, ugh,
yeah,
this was trash. So
yeah.
that would be my number 2.
Okay,
It's the original, but it's definitely not the best.
yeah. Okay, number 1, and yeah, this one's genuinely coming out of hatred for me because this match is very much frustrating to watch. Even now, like even after 2 years have simmered down for me. The
Oh
2015
boy.
Royal. Okay, where do I begin?
Oh
I
boy.
saw match is the big notice it really fast paced or nothing like that, but the eliminations were quick. It was you know like kind of I felt like there was little to no time in here. Um, and that was a factor in my argument. Really, like, just, yeah, it was like for a it's still quick. Yeah, Dan got eliminated, and you know the crowd pretty much dumped the rest of this match on its ass after that. Uh, Roman winning was like I don't want to knock Roman here because I like the guy. Who else winning was a pig's ass for like 30 minutes. Like people to cheer would be stupid. Like Roman was a guy who's in the position of you know long time. That's how I feel about it. Roman is not a bad dude, right? But this was single-handedly what pretty much ruined the guy's character. This single-handedly ruined everything for the guy. And it sucks to say because honestly, he when the Shield was there, he was one of my favorites. Like I liked all three guys equally, but I was looking at Roman, I was like, this guy might be the most successful one of the bunch. And like, dude, imagine how much more likable this guy would have been had he not won this Royal Rumble. You know?
True that, and I think I remember that Rumble, even The Rock, like, celebrating with him, and even that didn't win the fans over, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, if The Rock can't help win the fans over, it's like, damn.
Yeah. So, what's number one on your list? And if you don't mind, we'll take a little intermission after that.
All right. Number one on my list is from the year 2006, The Boogeyman versus JBL.
Oh, I don't remember that match.
Was only like a minute and a half long, dude.
Was it
so
really?
I won't even call it a match, but yeah, it was terrible. And here's the kicker: the Boogeyman wins. So,
well, at least you're getting a new star preview put over. I don't know.
Yeah, but his career didn't take off after that still. But that would be number one on my list. I think it was a complete waste to just have someone like JBL drop to the Boogeyman, especially in less than 2 minutes. So that is my number one.
Okay. Well, all right. So this was Eddie Lynch and Eddie Enigma for right now. This was not part one, but this was, you know, for the meantime, us two. Be sure to come back. We're going to take a short intermission right now, and see you in a couple minutes.
All right, sounds good, brother. And we're back.
Ew! All right.
What's up?
All right, what's up, man? All right, everybody, we're back and ready to go with the top 10 best Royal Rumble matches. So, let's get cracking, shall we?
All right, let's do it.
All right, so
who's kicking it off?
Go ahead and kick us off, man.
All right. My number 10, it might be argued with other people, but I have my reasons for it. It's from 1996, Goldust versus Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental Championship. The match itself was decent, but I think it makes my best list just because of the story going into it. Goldust had just debuted a few months prior, and when he did, man, that whole homosexual gimmick was just unheard of. And me, at that time, I didn't really know about any of that, so I was just like, what the hell is going on here, you know? So going into the match with Goldust, like, getting this tattoo of a heart with Razor's name in it on his, like, chest and all this crazy stuff, it was just intriguing to watch, but at the same time, like, what the hell is going on? And, like, even the match itself, like, there were points in times where Goldust would, like, gyrate or, like, you know, squeeze Razor's butt cheeks and stuff. And it was just like, what is happening? And then Goldust ended up winning the championship, you know, so it was just like, wait, he won? You know? So, yeah, that definitely makes my best. Because, you know, the storytelling was just amazing during the match, and the story leading up to the match was just really good, too.
Okay. I like it. All right. Number 10 for me, the 2016 Royal Rumble. Okay.
Oh, just
So,
last year's. Okay.
yeah. So, I really enjoyed this one because I feel like they got it right. Personally, I loved that. Oh, and Dylan Redman in the chat room. What's up to you too, man? Really glad, and yes, you should sub to us. So, I really enjoyed this. I mean, honestly, I was beyond belief on my toes. 2016, the pay-per-view in general, really enjoyed it. Really, really good matches. You will see one other 2016 Royal Rumble match on this list, but stay tuned for this one. This one is a really good one because there was just so much back and forth. The final two being Dean Ambrose and Triple H. If you saw the live reaction, dude, you would have seen me going, "Come on, Ambrose!" screaming Ambrose, like freaking wanting him to win. And I was like in a bad mood after Ambrose lost, but not by that much because the match itself was really, really damn good, and I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
All right. All
Number
right.
9.
Number 9 for me would be the 1994 Royal Rumble match itself. It was just so good, and I think for me it was just the finish of it. It was Lex Luger and Bret Hart who had that double elimination where it was like who hit the floor first type of deal, and that was the first time that it's ever happened at a Royal Rumble, so it was huge. And both Luger and Bret Hart were very popular at the time, so
Right.
for them to go into WrestleMania 10 and it ended up with both of them getting a title shot, these days it would have been a triple threat match, but back then they forced Yokozuna to defend the belt twice in one night. And
Yeah.
it was decided by a coin toss who was going to fight him first.
Right.
But that the whole Rumble match was just really good. It was really good, very entertaining.
Okay.
So that would be my number 9.
I like it. All right. Number 9 for me, and I would not have seen this match had not been for you telling me to do my homework. This was Shawn Michaels versus Marty Jannetty in the 1992.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
That match is on my list too. Yes, but
Yeah.
where?
Oh my
Yes.
God.
All right. So why did you enjoy it?
Wow. I thought the story was there. Like, I saw the promo package. I loved it. Like, I loved that we were getting the two. And, it's funny. I was watching this match and I was thinking, I gotta feel bad for Marty Jannetty. Because, like, this poor bastard is constantly being, being the term people use to refer to as, like, the lesser of the tag team. Like, he's
Right.
like if you say like Edge and Christian, some people will say Christian was the Jannetty of the two, and I'm like, this poor bastard was not even bad either. This dude was
Yeah.
This dude was actually pretty good. He had talent. He was, on the mic, I don't know what he was like, but in the ring, solid stuff. And this match had story.
Here's the thing. I thought, yeah, Marty was on par. I felt, skills wise with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
But I think he just lacked on the mic. And this
Yeah.
is just for me growing up watching, Marty Jannetty. And I remember when they were the Rockers and stuff. I was a big fan.
Yeah.
But Shawn Michaels excelled in other points where Marty didn't. And I think that's why
Yeah.
the scales tipped more in Shawn Michaels' favor
Yeah.
in their careers.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a really enjoyable match. I really enjoyed, like, honestly, I was like tit for tat, just on my toes watching this match. At some points I genuinely thought Marty Jannetty was gonna win, and like seeing the finish the way it did, I was like, huh. All right, I kind of felt almost heartbroken that Jannetty didn't win, and it's funny because
Bro, we all were back then,
Yeah.
trust me.
yeah, it's funny because like I was like, wow, this made these two a star, and it was a really good stuff to see. There was a lot of story. Like I said, it was very back and forth. I like that.
Man, if you go back and watch the story building up to it, Ed, utilize the network, find it. Great
Yeah.
story.
Okay. Most definitely. So yeah,
Because
really
it
enjoyed
was
the
a
stuff.
story that was building up for like a year. Yeah.
Okay. All right, all right. For damn sure, man. For damn skippy hippie. Okay.
If you
Nope.
haven't seen that Raw match where Janetti actually beat HBK going into that match to win the championship, bro, that match was good too.
Okay. All right, number 9.
Number nine, oh no, number 8 for me.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah, no, number 8 will be another intercontinental title match. The Royal Rumble has a habit of making really good intercontinental title matches, but this goes to Jericho and Benoit in a ladder match in 2001.
Ooh.
Yeah, these two, they just tore the house down, dude. For me, that was match of the night. I mean, you have Jericho and Benoit. That's enough said. You throw a ladder into it, you're just like, dude, yes. So, and I think Jericho even applied the walls of Jericho like on top of the ladder, and that was a really cool thing to
Oh,
see. So
okay.
yeah, dude, if you haven't seen that match, you must, because it is a classic with the ladder involved.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay. Number 7 for me is
Number 8 for you, I
oh
think, right?
wow.
Yeah, number 8 for you.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I
off
don't
my
want you to
game a
jump the
little bit.
gun. Yeah, I
All right,
kicked off the best list.
number 8 for me is Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. I was watching
Oh,
this
that was
match.
last year, right?
Yep, last
Yeah.
year. Like I said, 2016 was a good card. Really underrated too. So Charlotte versus Becky Lynch was like really really enjoyable. It was a good way to showcase Becky where I felt she was okay, let me tend to my niece for a little bit. Wah! Come on. All right, come on. All right. So Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Like this is where I was pulling for Becky Lynch to win, and since it was one of the big four, and then Ric Flair kind of said, "Oh, third time's a charm." I was thinking like Becky does have a credible shot at winning here. Um, um, yeah. Um, sorry. Becky does have like this. Yeah. Oh boy.
What
There
is
you go.
that?
That was my little niece. Yeah, she
No
just saw her
way.
mom, and yeah, yeah. Sorry. I was really silent for a little bit, but it was just because like my niece is like one of the most entertaining like balls of energy I've ever seen. Oh boy.
That sound your niece made was epic. I love it.
Yeah. Ay. Oh man. You know, before her, I was not really happy to be around kids that much. I love kids now because of her. Like like hell, even taking care of kids,
Oh,
I
okay,
don't mind
makes
as much
sense.
now. Cause like I used to love
Makes
watching
sense.
kids, like watching them like just act as crazy as they do. But now I love watching them even more, and like now even watching them like just even taking care of them, I don't mind as much anymore. I just have to have
Having one
really,
close to you will change that.
yeah. And, well, I had my little nephews,
Yeah.
and dude, those two are balls of disaster. That oh my god, they made. I remember like they stayed at my house. What one time 7 weekends in a row, and I was just beyond belief. Like when is this gonna end? I was just I was stressed out my mind. My nephews were like annoying the living hell out of me. Well, like my niece comes in and changes the whole world for me. And pretty much changes the
There
whole
you
world for
go.
everybody cuz like everybody's in love with that niece in my family. That little that
Oh,
yeah. She's just so lovable. Um but yeah. So, that's my second time going in detail about my niece. London. All right. Anyway, number 8. So Charlotte versus Becky Lynch. Really enjoyed every single little thing about this match. Like I thought Becky did have a credible shot at winning this, and I gotta go get my niece again. All right. Come on. Come on.
No. Omar, we're leaving.
Oh, you're leaving. Well, sorry. And here's where she's about to cry. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I thought Becky had a shot at winning, so I was like really pulling for her, and I just felt like a small fish in a big ass pond where everybody kind of felt Charlotte was gonna win, and like nobody was really behind Becky like I was, so I was like, yeah, I feel so alone here, but I don't care. Fourth, these two put on a great showing. Ric Flair kissing Becky was hilarious. Why they edited that out of the network, I will never know, because that I found hilarious, like beyond belief hilarious. It came so out of nowhere, and it was one of the funniest things. And what's it called? After that, I got a little mad because first off, Becky lost. I was a little mad at that, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh my god, I feel like Becky will just be relegated to doing this, like losing off of everything, and
Right.
I'm glad she's finally found her success as a SmackDown's Women's Champion. Oh my god, I felt so relieved Backlash happened, but it's like after that, Sasha Banks came out. Everybody popped. Me, I'm just sitting here watching this. And, I was watching this live reacting to with my good old WrestleBase podcast co-host and now part of the Empire Pro Wrestling podcast, Josh Munn. I'm sitting here watching it with him and the rest of the podcast Legend Killers colleagues, Crime Prince, David Capone, Jordan, the Wrestling Fanatic, a little bit of a name drops here and there. So, apologize if I do so, but don't blame me for doing so. Anyway, I was watching this like with them. They know how I get with pay-per-views. If I'm mad in the slightest, I will go on my rants. I will not think. Like, you should have seen me at Fastlane. I'm sitting here chatting with them, and like somehow like my friend Jordan was like, Charlotte wasn't even doing anything heelish, and I somehow translated that to like Sasha, like not doing anything heelish. And I'm sitting here yelling at him like, she got involved in blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, he's like, dude, that's I just said that. Like, she had no business. And I was like, oh. I looked over the text. He's like, oh. I'm sorry, dude. My big dumb ass.
Eddie Lynch was on a rampage.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and he was like, he texts this to me, end quote, because you know what? We've known each other for years now. Like, yeah, I know how you get after pay-per-views, so it's cool. Like, I tell him, like, am I like supposed to feel insulted by that? Because I somehow do. But, it was like, it's so true at the same time.
You heard me rant,
Yeah.
at the last podcast over Goldberg and KO. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, and it's true
It
how
happens,
I get
man.
with pay-per-views. And since the women's division is my favorite division, this is the one I'm going to be the most passionate about. So I'm sitting here
There you
watching
go.
this match. I didn't like, I'm sitting here because I was not sold by Sasha Banks at the time, and seeing her attack Becky Lynch too pissed me off because like I like hated to see Becky Lynch be the whipping girl, and like
Right.
it just like it like tore me up inside watching this. Oh, but the match itself, loved it, enjoyed it. Their match building up to it on SmackDown prior, I thought that was really good too. So yeah, I was really enjoying every little bit of it. Moving on from there, let's get to number 7, man.
Well, my number 7 brings it back to Shawn Michaels versus Marty Jannetty for the IC title
Ha!
in '93.
Okay.
Like I had mentioned earlier, dude, I think the match itself was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
But the story building up to it, for those of you that really don't know the story, was just so great. And I think it just made that match so much more special. And, I mean, long story short, you have these two guys that used to be a great tag team. Shawn Michaels turns on Jannetty, throws him through a glass window
Yeah.
on the Barbershop, which was a talk show back then. And Jannetty was out for a while, and then he returns. He beats Shawn Michaels for the IC title on a Monday Night Raw, and then they have the rematch at the Rumble. And it just overall, it was good. And I
Yeah.
wanted more, but Jannetty kind of fizzled after that. Actually, he fizzled all the way after that, and he was almost never heard from again until like a few special appearances on Raw over the
Here and
years.
there,
But
yeah.
but still, again, that match was really good.
Okay. Number 7 for me, John Cena versus AJ Styles, 2017.
Ooh, all right.
Okay. So I've said this before. It was a good match. Definitely not their best, especially not compared to SummerSlam. And I think personally, I'm not sure which of their 3 encounters I was a big fan of, but this one would probably fall in third place. I enjoyed their match. It was good that they went technical with it, and I loved they went back and forth on that. I was just not in love with this match. This is why I put it kind of low on the list. Like I said, I enjoyed it. There was a lot of good back and forth stuff. They pulled a Cena Rock at WrestleMania 29 where they did like a similar finish where AJ Styles was going to do the exact same finish, but John Cena caught him this time around. And it was like, okay, that kind of disappointed me a little bit because I knew it was coming. I called it coming. I like that Cena was a lot more aggressive in this match. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say all their matches, have been pretty good, so I
Yeah.
can agree with you on that.
Yeah.
I think SummerSlam would probably be my favorite match of theirs, though, if we had to choose like the best of their
Yeah.
3.
For me, it's
Definitely.
like it's so hard to pick because it's because like Money in the Bank was so good, but so was
Right.
SummerSlam, so it's like hard to pick for me. It's like if you ask me, I will go back and forth on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. So number 6.
Number 6 for me would be the 1990 Royal Rumble match.
Okay.
Man, it was good, and it's my number 6 only because for this match back in the 90s, dude, it showcased so many of the most popular stars of the 90s. And at that time, dude, I'm a big Mr. Perfect fan. Even though when I was a kid, I hated him to death.
Yeah.
And I realized as an adult, I hated him so much because he was doing his job right.
Yeah.
So he, was still fresh in WWE, I think by a year or two. And him and Hogan were the last 2, and Hogan eliminated Mr. Perfect to win the match. But overall, that entire match itself was really, really good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed all the spots in it. I enjoyed the finish. I like that
Yeah.
Mr. Perfect went over in that match, even though he did very, very good. One of the best.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, number 5 for me. And again, one I would not have picked had it not been for you. The Royal Rumble 1992.
Ah!
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. Also
So-
on my list, but where?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so I was watching this. I'm like engaged the entire thing. I saw Ric Flair came out at number 3, and he shared a very similar role to AJ Styles in 2016.
Yep.
Which is something I actually forgot to mention in the 2016 Royal Rumble, which I thought was also a really cool highlight. But getting back to it, Ric Flair just like in that match, like the commentator, I'm not sure if it was Bobby the Brain Heenan. Am I right? Was he on commentary at the time?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was also managing Flair. Yeah. But
Okay,
yeah, he
so-
was commentating.
Yeah, so he was constantly putting Flair over, and I could tell he was a heel commentator. Simply put, because Flair was wrestling as a heel, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, so
And Flair also, he was fresh coming over to the WWE from the year prior.
yeah,
And not to mention, he came over with the WCW Heavyweight Championship.
yeah,
For those of you that didn't know that.
yeah.
He didn't throw it in the trash like Alundra Blaze did, but He did, yeah. When he debuted in the WWF back in the day, he came over with the heavyweight championship from WCW.
Yeah.
So he was really huge.
Yeah, so it was a damn good match. I was, enthralled by it all. Um, I saw Shawn Michaels also did some good in here and there. I found it kind of stupid. This was kind of stupid because like Macho Man jumped over the ropes and eliminated himself.
To attack Jake the Snake,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
Well,
and then he
in that
was,
defense, Ed, here's the thing: the story going on at the time, when Macho Man did, made a lot of sense.
but here's the thing though.
Like it made a lot of sense.
It's not so much that he attacked him and eliminated himself, but it was that he was able to go back in the ring and then continue on in the match.
Oh crap! I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, huh? And they build it as like, oh, you have to be thrown over to be eliminated. Like, what? When did that ever be
One
a
of those
thing?
loopholes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So like that was kind of stupid, but whatever. I can forgive that. I don't care. It was it was a damn good match either way. Man.
And it was the first and only Royal Rumble to happen for the championship.
No, 2016. 2016
Oh, wait.
also had, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh crap! You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, boy.
So okay. So it was the first time. It was the first Rumble to have a Rumble winner become the champion.
Yeah.
All right.
Not
That's right.
necessarily
Yeah, thank you
because
for that reminder.
not wait. It actually wasn't Triple H didn't Triple H become the champion at the Royal Rumble?
In 2016, yes, but aside from that, the only other person to become a champion from winning the Rumble was Ric Flair
Oh, okay.
in '92.
All right. Well, anyway,
But yeah, 92 was the first time that ever happened.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, really good stuff. Really fun to watch. Definitely recommend for any old school fans. Yeah. Okay.
Well, and if you're a new school fan, it's just a really great event to watch in general.
Yeah.
Know your history, people.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. I can't stress that enough. So, number 5, man.
Number 5 is the 2000 Royal Rumble match. That
Okay.
shit was hot.
Ha!
The Rock won that one, but again, that Rumble match featured pretty much everyone that was hot in the year 2000, man, and it set up WrestleMania 16 very nicely. The Rock walked out the Royal Rumble winner. All the other matches on the card were actually pretty decent, but the Royal Rumble match itself was very entertaining. So yeah, that would be my number 5.
Okay. Now let's get to number 5 for me. That is the Royal Rumble 2005. I was like a big fan because this is my very first Royal Rumble match that I had ever seen. Not live, of course, but I did getting the WWE pay-per-view DVDs sets. That was kind of the thing to do for me at the time. So yeah. So I was watching this match. Oh boy, I loved it. I was, engaged. I remember wanting Cena to win so bad. He was the final 2 with Batista, and then seeing the finish that happened. Now I get that it wasn't supposed to happen like that, but that made it so much better in my opinion. I love that they had the sudden death elimination. I was like, oh my god, this is nail biting. And then Cena got eliminated, and I was just overall satisfied. This was actually the first match where I could say like the person I wanted to win lose, and I was still happy regardless.
And
'Cause,
you're
like,
still happy with it? Okay.
yeah, I really loved it. Um, every little minute of it, and yeah, what more can I say?
Well, it's funny because one of the matches on that card is on my best list. So interesting.
Huh. Okay. All right. So yeah, number 4, man.
All right, number 4 for me would have to be Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit from the 2003 Royal Rumble. I think it was for one of the heavyweight championships. I forget which one. It
The
was
world
either
heavyweight.
WWE or the Raw, but or the World Heavyweight, yeah.
Was it?
But I mean, anytime these two got in the ring was just phenomenal, anyways, because they were two technical wizards.
Yeah.
So that match for me was extremely entertaining.
Yeah.
Like I loved their match at WrestleMania. I think it was 17 that they had. It was 17 or 18, but dude, yeah, this match at the Royal Rumble, just killer,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
killer.
My personal favorite match between these two was it was their no, not Unforgiven. Their No Way Out or no, their Armageddon match in 2006. That one was amazing, man. I remember when
Oh, I remember that one too.
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when Benoit goes for a German suplex and Kurt Angle did a whole 180 and landed straight on his face. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Right.
And
Yeah.
yeah. So it was an amazing match. But yeah, getting back to your match though, I'm sure it was a masterpiece. You care
Oh,
to
it
go?
was. Oh,
Yeah,
it definitely was, man.
yeah,
And it makes me miss Chris Benoit even more. I know people hearing that name is probably a sore subject.
yeah,
Whatever. You can't take away what the man has done for the wrestling business.
yeah,
I know what happened in his life is tragic and messed up, but I'm not going to discredit Chris Benoit and all of his accomplishments in the business.
yeah.
I still think he should be put in the Hall of Fame.
For sure, man.
Like I said, it's a touchy subject, but this is just going off of what he's done for the wrestling business. Like,
Yeah.
the man's put on stellar matches. He's one of the best wrestlers to ever live. So,
Yeah.
yeah, him and Angle, Royal Rumble match was on par, man.
All right.
So that would definitely be my number 4.
Number 4 for me, Daniel Bryan versus Bray Wyatt. Yeah. I was hugely over on Daniel Bryan at the time. I did miss the Royal Rumble when I first saw it, so I probably would have been even higher on this match. Probably would have been number down to my bottom 3 when I saw this. But look, I remember seeing this when I was getting the network. The little 1 week deal, free trial. I remember seeing it. I was, on the edge of my seat watching the entire thing, very back and forth. And I was actually watching it the other day to kind of brush up on it. And yeah, it was every bit as good as I remember. Very much back and forth. Daniel Bryan, man, he was flying throughout the air. It's crazy because in the during the match, like the commentators were like referencing like Daniel Bryan's concussion rumors, and it's like that's so crazy to hear now because of everything that has happened. It's like
Right.
but it was such a good match. Really enjoyed every little bit about it. There's just, yeah, man, there's nothing I could say that would ever take away from this match in my opinion. I was loving every little bit of it. Loving every bit of it. And yeah, there's nothing else I could say. It was a good match, really back and forth. Bray Wyatt did go over, even though I was going for Daniel Bryan, or probably would have been. Regardless of that, I loved every bit of this match. Fun to watch.
Nice.
Yeah, so, yeah. Okay, number 3.
Number 3 for me comes from the '05 Royal Rumble. It would be Edge versus Shawn Michaels.
Oh yeah, I remember that
Actually,
match.
dude, yeah. I'm sorry. Like when you have two talents like that, they just tore the house down, man. I
Yeah.
miss both of them. I wish they were both still around today. I
Uh.
just remember watching that match and just being like, this is why I love wrestling. And, it just reminded me that this is why Shawn Michaels was and always will be one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, you
Yeah.
know? And then Edge, I didn't start off as a big Edge fan, but I had a really close friend who was obsessed with him, and I see why. And that match helped me realize why, dude. And Edge, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And this
Yeah.
match is one reason why, because these two, I think they stole the show for that entire card, to be honest with you.
Yeah. That was a really good match. I remember that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
One of many greats.
Yeah, for damn sure. Okay, so all right. Well, number 4 for me, or number 3 for me. Yeah. Oh my god. All right, number 3 for me. It has to be CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler. Okay.
Ooh. All right.
So when you talk about a match that stole the show, this one right here, I didn't see it when I first saw it, or when I first saw it, I wish I had seen more of it. It was good stuff to see. I replayed it back and forth. It was definitely a good show. Oh man, when you talk about stealing the show, these guys did that year for sure. I like that CM Punk countered the Dolph Ziggler countered the GTS into the Famouser. Um, it was, yeah, it was every bit as good as I remember, even better than I remember. Like, it was so engaging. Like, I wish I was able to appreciate that match more when I was, how 14 at that time. I was like, dude, that match is a masterpiece. John Laurinaitis getting involved after all of that, and I remember, like, John Laurinaitis and CM Punk were like modern day Vince McMahon and Stone
Yeah.
Cold. Like,
And Stone
like,
Cold. Yep.
like you couldn't have John Laurinaitis. He would not have worked had it not been for CM Punk. Like, that's what I'm thinking every time I
Very true.
see John Laurinaitis now, and it's just like, wow, this match had me guessing like the entire show. So yeah, um, w- yeah.
Which year was this match? Do you
This
remember?
was 2012.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, yeah. So, dude, it was a good match. Really, really enjoyed it. Really engaging. I just can't say enough good things about it. Okay.
Well, when you got CM Punk and Dolph Ziggler,
Yeah.
you would expect.
Yeah. Okay. So number 2.
Number 2 for me, well, also includes Dolph Ziggler. It would be from the year before, Edge versus Dolph Ziggler for the
Ooh.
Heavyweight
How was that
Championship.
match? How was that match?
Oh, that match was pure gold, my friend. And
Hmm.
this just comes back to me just being such a huge fan of Dolph Ziggler.
Right.
Like, the dude is so talented, and you put him in the ring with someone like Edge, and I think like there's a special stipulation on that one where Edge couldn't win by using the spear. Like, if he speared
Huh.
Dolph Ziggler, he would lose the championship. So, I
Oh.
mean, it got Edge more creative, and
Yeah.
the match just impressed the hell out of me.
Yeah.
And I think
Didn't.
that match actually made me a big Dolph Ziggler fan. It was just like, you know what,
Yeah.
dude? Yeah, you have my back for the rest of your career, no matter
Yeah.
what. And I still do.
Yeah.
Which is why it pains me to see what he's going through right now currently.
Yeah.
And I know it's only temporary, but it's just Ziggler's one of those guys that just
Yeah.
falls, as you called it, the Ziggler effect. He has this almighty high, but then he goes through these almighty lows. And then
Yeah.
I just feel like he shouldn't have to go through these lows because, I mean, this is a very talented wrestler.
Yeah. And it's crazy because there is no in between. This guy is at a point where there is no in between anymore. It's like, huh?
Thank you.
Like he's either at a
And
high
he's already shown us
or
he
at a
can be
low.
the heavyweight champion and can carry the company. So it's like keep that faith in him, man. The dude puts
Yeah,
on stellar matches, no matter who he's in the ring with.
yeah. So it's like, oh wow, going back to all this, like this is the guy, you guys are not pushing. How he is not figured into being a WWE champion is like beyond belief, you know.
Exactly. I had small hope. I think it was last SummerSlam. Wasn't it him and Ambrose for the championship?
Yeah, I knew he wasn't winning that at that
Yeah,
cuz like
same here, even though I had small hope, but I'm like, dude, Ambrose just won it. I'm pretty sure they're not going to take
yeah.
it off of him this
They
soon.
yeah, and they
Ambrose is
should
hot,
not have
but
taken that would not have been the smartest thing to do because like
yeah,
and
I agree.
this wasn't just me saying it because I was an Ambrose fan, but because it's true. Like Ambrose, it's what he was going into his third month. It was like there's no way like he should lose it this early, you know.
Right.
I
Especially after, defenses to like Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins and stuff like that.
yeah,
But still, it was good to see Ziggler be put still in the heavyweight title picture.
yeah,
I think he should have gotten the better end of his feud with The Miz for the IC title around that
yeah,
time. That's just me,
yeah,
but I will still root for Dolph Ziggler.
yeah,
Only because, this match is one reason why. It's like, this guy's a wrestler. He's good at what he does. He's good on the
yeah,
mic. He deserves any and all opportunities. And I hope he
yeah,
continues to get them.
yeah. All right, so number 2 for me, John Cena versus Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins. All right.
Oh.
I went into this match watching it like this was another one of those where I was like didn't really appreciate it as much as I did the second time around watching it, the third time around watching it, because the more I saw it, the more I grew to love it. Like I remember I was watching it like not really sure how to react to everything I was seeing. I was just in the moment, like I wasn't really reacting to everything. I was kind of indifferent, not because it was bad or anything, but just because it was like, I was just watching, processing everything I was seeing. Brock Lesnar going through the table, Seth Rollins doing the Phoenix Splash, John Cena almost winning at a few points, Seth Rollins almost winning at a few points, and like I remember after the match, Seth Rollins was pinned by Brock Lesnar. He was doing this thing of trolling, and like my brother loves to like kind of check out and like just kind of like try his best to piss me off, and of course I fall for it every freaking time. But he was like, Seth Rollins does not deserve to be in the ring with these two guys, and yeah. He was kind of just nagging. It just like not even like seriously. He was just saying it just to say it. And
Oh, okay.
I was kind of indifferent to it because like at first like I did not know what the guy was capable of. I always thought he was a very underrated guy, but after seeing the Phoenix Splash, that's when my brother just completely switched his mind on him, and like, dude, like that was just a star-making match for Seth Rollins, instantly,
All right.
instantly. Yeah. So
Well, it won your brother over, so.
yeah, that's one of the crazy things. Like, that match won somebody over. So that
Yeah.
match won a lot of people over. I'm sure, for damn sure. Not just my brother. So it was a great match to watch. Be sure to check it out for those watching at home, listening to this podcast. All right. Go ahead. Where are
Well,
we at?
we
Number one
narrowed
now?
it down to my number one.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay. Any of you new school wrestling fans need to check out my number one pick. It was already mentioned earlier on one of Ed's best, but it's the 1992 Royal Rumble match.
Ooh-hoo-hoo.
In my opinion, this match has been the greatest Royal Rumble match to ever be put on. Since we've corrected things, it's the first to be contested for the championship.
Yeah.
And overall, dude, like the whole match was just good. It was star-filled. It was good. It was very story-driven. Ric Flair
Yeah.
walked out the winner, became the champion for the first time. You know, I think he, if I remember correctly, yeah, he went on to face Macho Man that year at that WrestleMania for the championship. All in all, though, dude, this match was so great. And in being a fan back then, this was the first Royal Rumble match for me that my parents actually ordered for me on pay-per-view
Yeah.
as a surprise. I still have it recorded on VHS, you know, and
Huh.
it was good. It was really good. And I've probably watched it at least 24 times
Huh.
because it's just that great. It's just that great. All the stories going into it, all the stories told during it, all the stories that happened afterwards, man, this Royal Rumble is
Yeah.
very special. And that's why it's number one on my list.
Yeah. Okay. Number one for me, and I'm not putting this on the list because it's the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. I'm not putting this on the list because anything like people will think, like if you were to ask me, like the greatest Royal Rumble of all time, I probably would not pick this one like at a knee jerk reaction. And I know for a fact people listening to this probably, probably won't even think this match. For damn sure won't think this one. But I'm just going to go right out and say it. The 2014 Royal Rumble. Now,
Huh.
yeah. So, why I picked this one, and you have all your negatives to say about it. Batista won this year. It was predictable. It was, the crowd took a wet shit on it. I heard one guy say about it. Daniel Bryan wasn't in it. Okay. Why I picked this one? Because it was overall fun to watch. That was it. I had complete fun watching this. I was watching this the other day. This was everything a Royal Rumble should be. Surprise returns, stars being made, or star making performances. Highlight after highlight. Kofi Kingston had his moment where he sprinted across the side of the rail. What do you call that? The barricade. And jumped all the way, landed into the ring, or outside the ring, but landed it, and the crowd went ballistic over it. Okay? CM Punk had his last match in this match, and the fact is, I know.
I was going to say, that was his last match, yeah.
Yeah, I know CM Punk was, he had bags under his eyes. I know he was sick. I know he was, probably, just, dazed and out of it. But, dude, he sold for a lot of people as well as had his moments in there. Like, for a way to go out, that's the way to do it. Even though he didn't plan on doing it, I'm sure he didn't. Like, if you listen to his podcast, or not to his podcast, but the podcast with Cole Cabana, I'm sure that was not his plan to leave the WWE after that. But if there was ever a way to go out, that's definitely it right there. Even though we didn't get any follow up on Kane choke slamming him, that was definitely a way to go out with that performance that he did. And that being a big factor as to why I enjoyed this match so much. It was CM Punk's last match, like I repeated like 5 times now. There was also star-making performances. Kofi Kingston had one, even though he's not world champion right now, or hasn't even fought for one. I honestly think he could have went somewhere if they followed up on the guy, because that was a red-hot thing to do. There were surprise appearances. You had Kevin Nash come out. You had a few other guys come out. You had the Shield come out. You had, dude, the Shield. Roman Reigns was actually red hot. To think he was red hot coming into this match. He beat Kane's streak. People wanted him to win. It's crazy. it's crazy to think where he was a year from now. So overall, that's why I pick 2014 Royal Rumble.
The 2014 one, that one's so controversial too.
Yeah,
It's all right. Good pick.
yeah. Okay,
Good
so,
pick.
so that concludes everything, everybody. All right, so
So if any of
2014
you listening haven't seen any of those, check out the best and worst Royal Rumble matches that we listed.
Yeah, be sure to check those out. I strongly recommend, if you're one of those guys who want to watch matches of your life, check out the best more because they're more of a
Yes.
necessity than the worst. Only because like
But
I
that's a
like to
cult
end things on a
classic type of
positive note.
thing.
Like me personally, if
There
I
you
hear a
go.
match is bad, I don't even want to give it. I don't even want to waste my time on it. I don't.
Well, it's
So-
funny. If I hear it's bad, I want to watch it even more because, like, if it's that bad, I have to see it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
which is why, if you're a true wrestling fan, yeah, check out the worst list too. You have to know some of the bad history that's out there too. But definitely, for sure, check out the best.
Yeah. So yeah,
I would
With
say
all that
definitely
being
start
said,
there.
with all of that being said, really enjoyed everything. This was a fun podcast. Can't wait to do this next week if you're available.
Of course.
Yeah. So, well, yeah. All right. So, what's Oh yeah, after show plugs. Okay, so we've given our weekly recommends yesterday. After show plugs. So for those listening on SoundCloud, I have one thing to say to you guys. If you guys missed the previous podcast or whatever, the previous episode, go to my YouTube page, Eduardo Betancourt. It may be there unless if I haven't already finished editing the episode, or go to my podcast Legend Killers page and check it out there, So, yeah, for SoundCloud listeners, especially because I'm too cheap to buy storage, and really I don't want to, check it out, check all the previous stuff on my YouTube pages. Just search up Podcast Legend Killers. You'll see a wall of history. Pretty much that's all I could say. Podbean listeners, be sure to check out my Podbean, Eddie Lynch, for my top 10 exclusive Eddie Guerrero defining moments. So yeah, be sure to check all that being said, man. Really enjoyed doing this with you again.
Likewise, brother.
Yeah, so yeah. All right, guys. Eddie, care to share any plugs? You got any after show plugs?
No after show plugs, except for, I guess we always do this. Or are we going to do it again, the match of the week, since we did it already yesterday?
Well, I mean, I figured, I don't know. What do you think? Should we?
You know what? Let's give him a second one.
All right, go ahead.
All right, mine's just a throwback to my boy Chris Jericho against CM Punk at Payback 2013.
Oh, that was a really good one. I really enjoyed that one.
It was a really good one. And I only recommend that one because last night I watched their encounter at WrestleMania. But this match at Payback I think was much better. And it was a really good match. So there you go.
Okay.
I'll plug that rather than plugging myself.
Okay. So, for me, it is Tyler Breeze versus Sami Zayn. Now, for those NXT history buffs out here, you're going to have to dig deep, go into the year 2014 on that section. And this is one of their first NXT TakeOver specials, so, look out for that. It's like somewhere in April or May. Be sure to check that one out. It was a great match, star-making performance. For those that don't believe me on Tyler Breeze, or for those that refuse to believe it, watch this match and tell me you don't change your mind. You know, watch
There
his
you
match with a partial mind. Tell me you don't. Tell me he doesn't say change your mind. Yeah, man. That's pretty much all I gotta say. Tyler Breeze, Sami Zayn, really good match once again. Yeah, that's pretty much match of the week recommendations.
I know what I'm watching tonight. Thank you.
Yeah, for damn sure. All right, so all right, we're out. Ha!